Nobody deceives like an addict.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Today is day 73 since poor little 5-year-old Summer Wells went missing in the Rogersville area of East Tennessee. It's also been 2 weeks since we've heard anything in the media. And besides that, Don and Candice's social media remain silent. In this episode, we're going to explore some of the points made in the previous video about a dynasty of dysfunction. But this time we're going to go into the area of Grandma's backstory, that's Candice horror, and what impact that may have had on her daughter, on Candice, on Summer's mother. Now, I know some people probably feel that when we use a word like intergenerational, it feels very cerebral, it feels very theoretical. And so in this episode, I want to get quite practical about it, looking at the situation between Grandma and her husband and applying that to Candice and seeing what we end up with. Before we get to that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. You can click on the light blue icon on the bottom right of your screen, like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. Like mother, like daughter. There's a 26-year age gap between Grandma, that's Candice horror, and her recently deceased husband, Ken. Grandma was 19 years old when she married 45-year-old Ken Bly in Galveston, Texas in 1981. Her daughter Candice was 19 years old when she married 42-year-old Andrew Simon in Wisconsin in, I think, approximately 2002. The age gap between Candice and Don is also approximately 19 years. If I'm not mistaken, Don turns 58 this year and Candice is 39. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to gauge from these age gaps that these relationships are intergenerational in themselves. What does that mean? Well, they're like repeat runs of father figures marrying daughter figures. And so is it really so surprising that it was actually through Don's stepdaughters that Candice met Don? And now I'm going to refer to an article in the Rogersville Review, excellent article. I'll put a link to it in the description, although I have referenced it before. But there's a quote from the article where Candice actually was interviewed by the Rogersville Review. And this article is dated July 30th, 2021, so written almost a month ago. Quote, "My mom, she was managing a hotel in Arkansas when I ended up in St. Louis and I got stranded there. So she came and got me, and I moved to Arkansas with her. And then I met Donnie's other family, his stepdaughters and stuff like that. And then I met him through his stepdaughters. Then we just got together," Bly said. End quote. So what you can see here is how Candice met Don. It was through his stepdaughters. It was through much younger young woman, closer to Candice's age than to Don's age. It wasn't through Don's sisters. It was through Don's stepdaughters that Candice actually met him. And so effectively, in a weird way, Candice is sort of in the age range of one of Don's daughters. Do you agree with that? So in a scenario like this, where there's this sort of old-young pair bonding that seems almost innate, not just with Candice, but also with her own mother, and also in a previous marriage between Candice and Andrew, one can see how the thought process may have originated with Don regarding Summer. And that's besides the events in Don's own backstory. Do I need to be more explicit about that? One can also imagine how Candice may have been both conflicted by and familiar with the idea of what was starting to perhaps happen. She may have regarded it as an uncomfortable predilection of men, the men that she knew, and either decided to tolerate it or reluctantly went along with it. I do think it's quite interesting if you look right now at their social media. Don lists himself as married, whereas Candice all along has listed her relationship status as complicated. Well, I think it has been quite complicated. And if Candice has been reluctantly going along with things, one wonders what her position is regarding Summer's disappearance. Once again, Candice herself consorting with a 15-year-old boy on the day Summer went missing, I think achieves a more ominous undertone given the perspective I've just raised here, doesn't it? So I'm not going to take it further than that. Tomorrow I'll be doing the penultimate analysis of the Sermon on the Mount. I'm also going to be doing an analysis on the sermon that Barry gave. So we're going to be revisiting that sermon. And then I'm also going to be doing a live, either on Saturday or Sunday. I will confirm closer to the time, dealing with the 10 most damning pieces of evidence in the Barry Morphew case. Just asking the question, are these 10 pieces of evidence damning enough to convince Judge Patrick Murphy to have the case prosecuted in trial in a criminal case? So I've done a lot of work on that. I've already written out a script, and I'll be dealing with that in detail in a live stream sometime this weekend, so look out for that. My patrons have already been quite sort of complimentary about it, just saying it's an outstanding analysis and just all written down there. But I'll be communicating it to you guys in a live stream sometime this weekend. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.